Good morning. Thank you for joining with me. Happy Valentine's Day, if you're watching this on Valentine's Day. We are in A Course in Miracles. Today we are picking up on section 6, Time and Eternity, and we will start with chapter 5 and conclude the section. If you'd like to close your eyes and join me in prayer. Dear Father, please enable me to set aside everything I think I know about everything today, God. Please allow me an open mind for a new experience. Releasing all judgments and living with eyes, with vision that you would have me have. Vision of love. Just started raining. Okay, time and eternity. Chapter 5 is Healing and Wholeness, and this is Time and Eternity. Picking up on page 87, paragraph 5. There are many examples of how the ego's interpretations are misleading, but a few will suffice to show how the Holy Spirit can reinterpret them in his own light. 6. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. He interprets to mean, what you consider worth cultivating, you will cultivate in yourself. Your judgment of what is worthy makes it worthy for you. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, is easily reinterpreted if you remember that ideas increase only by being shared. Give it therefore to the Holy Spirit, who will undo it in you, because it does not belong in your mind, which is part of God's. I will visit the sins of the fathers unto the 3rd and 4th generation. As interpreted by the ego, is particularly vicious. It becomes merely an attempt to guarantee the ego's own survival. To the Holy Spirit, the statement means that in later generations, he can still reinterpret what former generations have misunderstood, and thus release the thoughts from the ability to produce fear. The wicked shall perish becomes a statement of atonement, if the word perish is understood as to be undone. Every loveless thought must be undone. A word the ego cannot even understand. To the ego, to be undone means to be destroyed. The ego will not be destroyed because it is part of your thought, but because it is uncreative and therefore unsharing. So the ego will not be destroyed because it is part of your thought, but because it is uncreative and therefore unsharing. It will be reinterpreted to release you from fear. The part of your mind that you have given to the ego will merely return to the kingdom where your whole mind belongs. You can I'm stumbling all over words this morning. You can delay the completion of the kingdom, but you cannot introduce the concept of fear into it. So you can delay the completion of the kingdom, but you cannot introduce the concept of fear into it. You need not fear the high court will condemn you. It will merely dismiss the case against you. There can be no case against a child of God, and every witness to guilt in God's creations is bearing false witness to God himself. Appeal everything you believe gladly to God's own higher court, because it speaks for him and therefore speaks truly. It will dismiss the case against you however carefully you have built it up. The case may be foolproof, but it cannot be God-proof. But it is not God-proof. The Holy Spirit will not hear it because he can only witness truly. His verdict will always be, "Thine is the kingdom," because he was given to you to remind you of what you are. When I said I am come as a light into the world, I meant that I came to share the light with you. Remember my reference to the ego's dark glass, and remember also that I said, do not look there. It is still true that where you look, you find yourself. It is still true that where you look to find yourself is up to you. Your patience with your brothers is your patience with yourself. Is not a child of God worth patience? I love that. I have shown you infinite patience because my will is that of our Father, from whom I learned infinite patience. His voice was in me as it is in you, speaking for patience towards the sonship in the name of its Creator. Now you must learn that only infinite patience produces immediate effects. This is the way in which time is exchanged for eternity. Infinite patience calls upon infinite love, and by producing results now, it renders time unnecessary. We have repeatedly said that time is a learning device to be abolished when it is no longer useful. The Holy Spirit, who speaks for God in time, also knows that time is meaningless. He reminds you of this in every passing moment of time, because it is his special function to return you to eternity and remain to bless your creations there. He is the only blessing you can truly give, because he is truly blessed, because he has been given you freely by God. You must give him as you received him. And that is the conclusion of Section 6, Time and Eternity, of Chapter 5, Healing and Wholeness. And we will pick up the last section in Chapter 5 tomorrow, the decision for God. Thank you for your patience with me today, stumbling all over. Please join me for a meditation now. Lesson 46, God is the love in which I forgive. God is the love in which I forgive. God is the love in which I forgive. Let's go ahead and hold on to that light in the center of our chest. Think of 3 things that you're grateful for. And feel it. Fill your whole body and spirit. The beauty of love. God is the love in which I forgive. God is the love in which I forgive. Let's carry this out into the world today. Have a most beautiful day. I thank you. See you tomorrow.